Evening folks, just a quick video, more of a talky one tonight. This week we've been talking a lot about the grounds of the governors, William Kilmer's excellent video when he discusses the topic. Just to touch on that a bit, as a general summing up for me, what you've got is the grounds and governors are two parts of the same coin. The grounds are how I can, at any particular moment in time, how I can either successfully hit you, or successfully defend myself, or successfully boast, or successfully both. So the grounds are for particular moments in time of the fight. The governors tell you how to control a fight, how to read a fight, how to win the fight in like total. So for me, you think of the grounds as any particular moment, and you think of the governors as the whole thing. Okay, so for example, the conversation went on to people talking about distance and measure, and whether they're the same thing. Definitely not. But again, we look at what Silver says. He always said about distance in this section. We're talking about the very beginning of brief instructions upon my paradoxical defence for the true handling of all manner of weapons, together with the four grounds of the four governors, which governors are left out in my paradoxes, without the knowledge of which no man can fight safe. Okay, so distance says you keep your distance. To distance you take your time. I think we can agree pretty much distance is controlling the distance. I can know where I am at any point in time, exactly how far away you are, where I am in the space, where I am in the fight, any one time. That's distance. Measure, he says. The second governor is measure. Measure is the better to know how to make your space true, to defend yourself, or to offend your enemy. How can I control the space, make myself true, defend myself, or offend the enemy? Quite simple, I use my grounds. So measure is the summing up, for me, measure is the summing up of time, distance and place. He mentions judgment again. Judgment is key to all this. And then he mentions measure. And measure is the summing up of time, distance and place. It's not just that, you can think of it in different ways, but in this context, for me, that's what he's saying. Then he talks about the twofold mind, which others have actually agreed. It's to make sure you've always got a mind to go in and to come out. So when I'm on the offensive, I must be conscious of the defensive, and so on and so forth. Most defense systems, most martial arts systems bring this in. The Lichtenau tradition does. Definitely, I know Fiore does, brings this idea in. So that idea is not particularly controversial. But just to put my sort of 2 pence worth in, distance is literally about the distance and controlling the distance. And to know distance to create time, or tempo, as others have actually said. And through that time, I can then control place and so on. Measure is all those things combined. That's my take on it. Thanks, guys. Just to finish off, go back to grounds and governors in general. How I like to think about it, and again, this is very general, but it's a good way to actually start. The grounds are the basics of how I win an encounter. It can be a one-time encounter, it can be a particular tempo or time within that encounter, but it's how I keep myself safe and become victorious. The governors are what control the whole encounter. They allow me to read the fight, they allow me to see what's going on, they allow me to have the presence of mind to always be able to use the grounds. The grounds are how I win a fight, the governors are how I control it and have the presence of mind to use them.